Strategy number 7. Frequently assess and provide timely feedback. Students take several courses in a semester. Midterm exams and finals are often clustered around the same time frame. Due to the preoccupation with passing assessments, testing can be stressful for both students and teachers. Regardless, students have to be assessed in order to confirm that they're comprehending the course material. The challenge is assessing students in a manner that is effective without adding undue anxiety. Conduct warm-up assessment exercises prior to a new lesson. Just as physical warm-up exercises are essential to getting the body prepared for a workout, mental warm-up exercises are essential to getting the mind prepared to learn a new lesson. My mental warm-up routine consists of a short and informal game-style Q&A session to assess students' retention of past lessons before starting a new topic. I incorporate scientifically proven learning strategies such as retrieval, spacing, interleaving, and feedback into my routine to deepen understanding. The questions are impromptu and mostly cover content from the previous class, but include all topics taught to date. My goal is to keep the sessions shorter than 10 minutes and as lively as possible. I promote camaraderie by encouraging students to assist each other in refining answers or to give an alternative perspective. I tactfully interject feedback as needed. I graciously thank each student who participates. If it is obvious that students cannot recall the last lesson, I'll review it before moving on to the next topic. In order to ensure that this questioning approach works well, on the first day of class, I confess my obsession with using questions not only to assess knowledge, but also as a metacognitive process to deepen understanding and to solve complex problems. I briefly describe the scientifically proven learning benefits of my questioning approach. I also explain why active participation is vital to the students' learning success. Then I assure them of my commitment to mutual respect and to maintaining a class culture in which everyone can comfortably collaborate, learn, ask and answer questions. Factor frequent formative assessments in your course. The idiom, "when eating an elephant, take one bite at a time," offers practical advice that can be effectively applied to assessments. Assessing too much information at one time, especially in an online learning environment, is not only stressful, but may also be impractical and counterproductive. Frequent formative assessments, consisting of digestible chunks of information, can help students master the course material in parts and better prepare them for the summative assessment. Some critics may complain that frequent assessments increase grading workload. Keep in mind, assessments can be set up in the LMS to auto-grade closed-ended questions such as multiple choice, true or false, multi-select, matching, ordering, etc. I like to use a variety of question types, including written responses, fill-in-the-blank, and short answers in my assessments to truly gauge students' understanding of the course material. I have the LMS auto-grade closed-ended questions, so I only have to grade the open-ended ones. Be sure to let students know exactly what to expect during assessments. This is the testing protocol I created for my online Celestial Navigation course. If you plan on using a proctoring software such as Respondus Lockdown Browser, I recommend stipulating this in your syllabus and LMS announcements. Due to numerous privacy, equity, and technical issues surrounding online testing, educators are encouraged to monitor their institution's online assessment policies for updates. Keep assessment dates consistent. For example, a short quiz every Friday. Frequent and consistent assessments in online modality are critical in sustaining student engagement and reducing testing anxiety. If possible, avoid using assessments that students will have to print out, as some students might not have ready access to a printer. Instead, have them test in the LMS, or use forms or fillable PDFs. This is the fillable PDF I created with a variety of questions for an online quiz. Best practice is to keep the focus on learning by providing students with purposeful instructions and engaging course content. This practice will not only positively impact assessment outcomes, it may make testing less stressful. Provide timely feedback. Given that testing can be stressful for some students, especially in a pandemic era, Delaying grades after an assessment only adds more stress. Students receiving financial aid also have to maintain a certain minimum GPA as one condition of retaining their assistance. Thus, students need timely feedback to determine if they're on track to pass or need to work harder. Thankfully, auto-grading and feedback can be done almost instantaneously with a few clicks in the LMS. In Brightspace, for example, I create my exams with detailed feedback for each applicable question. Feedback can be text, image, video, audio, or even an equation. I prefer to use an image for my feedback because it is relatively easy to customize and the file size is often smaller compared to video or audio. The question feedback gives students the option of checking the solution to see where they went wrong if they missed a question. However, the test must be set up to display answers in order for the question feedback option to be available. In addition, I link assessments to the gradebook. Furthermore, the gradebook has to be set up to automatically update and release students' grades. One other feedback practice is to create a custom color-coded grade scheme to visually identify struggling students when I glance at my gradebook. I then contact these students to devise an individualized plan to get them back on track. The plan consists of a two-part informal agreement. The first part details what I will do to assist the student, as students have individual learning needs. The second is the student's plan for catching up. I periodically follow up with struggling students until they're back on track. For my assignments in Brightspace, I select the option to make annotation tools available. Brightspace has an extensive array of annotation options such as drawing, highlighter, eraser, icons, text formatting, shapes, colors, and more. These tools can help educators quickly annotate meaningful feedback on student submissions. For annotations, I prefer using a stylus pen because it feels more natural than using a mouse. If you're not too familiar with the LMS features, consider creating cheat sheets from the LMS guide for reference. Conclusion. Notwithstanding the pandemic era, in-person or online learning, students come to class on the first day with a desire to pass. They look to their teacher for directions. Incorporating leadership strategies into our pedagogy shows students that we care through quality instructions, course content, assessments, and feedback. Additionally, leadership strategies can also improve transparency, build trust, and motivate students to achieve the course goal, despite potential difficulties and setbacks. While the provision of a quality education for our students often comes with an increased workload, we can always leverage technology to improve efficiency in engaging and educating our students. For collision avoidance regulations at sea, for instance, instead of using a static image that shows the arc of visibility of navigation lights on a ship, I created a 3D interactive solution that allows learners to rotate the ship through 360 degrees in order to see the navigation lights that are visible from any aspect. Since technology is constantly transforming, we have to keep learning in order to ensure that we continue to provide the most current and effective learning experience to our students. All things considered, we're not just teaching students to pass our class, we're also helping to shape the future of our society, as education is crucial to the success of any nation. In essence, the influence of educators who practice leadership strategies in their class extends far beyond the confines of any classroom. Therefore, educators should also exhibit leadership worth emulating. In other words, we must be the change we wish to see in the world, according to Mahatma Gandhi.